Hey there, commercial construction coffee talk fans. Thanks for chiming in. My name's David Corse, and I'm your host. I'm also the publisher and editor. Let me grab this magazine of Commercial Construction Renovation magazine. This is what it used to look like. I'm grabbing these out of the archives. June 2020. This one was 100 and how many pages I got here? 132 pages. Always liked to look what I was doing back then, and I was looking at the Georgia Swarm Lacrosse Championship Trophy from 2017 when we won the first time that they won the league. And I'm a lacrosse player, so it was fun to see it. But it's always nice to have the magazine holding my hands. We went 100% digital August of 2021. That was the last time we printed it. We had White Castle, VP of Construction, on the cover. It was the largest facility that they had built, and don't miss the printer. Don't miss the the post-it in the post office. And it's just been an amazing ride. We had about just under 5 million people that had interacted on the site last month. So thank you to everybody out there that's been finding us on the web. We really appreciate it. And hopefully I'll go over 5 million this month. At least my webmaster said that. So couldn't have done it without you. So once again, thank you so much for finding us on the web. Hopefully everybody's having a great day. And we're just rolling. I can't believe it's already almost the end of the third week of June and the end of Q2. I mean, it's just this whole year has just flown by. But anyway, have a great interview today. I have a gentleman. He's on the safety side of things for construction site. His name is Rocky Rowlett, and he's from Faith Technologies Incorporated, and he's in Nashville today. Rocky, say hello to our listeners out there on Commercial Construction Coffee Talk.
Hey, hello. Glad to be here.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And the reason why I had Rocky on is, safety is an issue. We want everybody to be able to get home after the job, have spend some time with their spouses, their pets, their kids, and be able to get up and do it again today. And with the summer heat and all the other things that come into working, you want to have a good safety record. And safety is the most important thing in my eyes. My family's been in construction since 1888, and my cousins, it's fifth or sixth generation, and we totally understand about safety. Safety is the number one priority. Getting the project done and staying under budget on time and all that, but safety is ultimately the most important thing. So, Rocky, the way this is going to go is you're going to tell us your story, where you grew up, where you went to school, and how you ended up at FTI. And then we'll talk about some lessons learned over the last 3 years of the roller coaster that we've been on, or any cool stuff that you have coming up. And then you'll leave your contact info and one positive thought, and we'll close it out. So with that said, the floor is yours. Tell us your story.
Yeah, thanks for having me. So again, I'm
Absolutely.
Rocky Rowlett. I'm the Vice President of Safety for FTI. Been with the organization for just under 10 years. August will be my 10-year anniversary with the company. I started, actually played baseball in college, went and got my degree in industrial safety from the University of Central Oklahoma, just about 20 minutes north of Oklahoma City. Started working with a large general contractor out of Oklahoma. I was their corporate safety director, was with them for 15 years. I knew a lot about Faith in the kind of the national market. They were in the process of growing, and they contacted me. I actually told them no a couple times because Wisconsin wasn't really in the cards for where I wanted to relocate. And with us being a national contractor, we had other options, and made an agreement and been there 10 years and love every minute of it. So our safety department has about 40 safety professionals nationwide, a very diverse group of individuals, both from the academic side that got their degrees in safety, and the other half came through the field, through the apprenticeship school, have the electrical background. So we have a really good mix of individuals that, in my opinion, help us be one of the best in our industry when it comes to safety. And it's something that we're proud of. It's a core value of ours, and it's something that we strive every day to make zero possible. And just glad to be on and talk to you today.
Absolutely. What position do you play in baseball?
I was a middle infielder, so 1 year I was second base. The other years I was shortstop. So it was fun. I miss it. I would probably go back and make a lot less money to continue to play if I had that opportunity, but I'm not sure the wife would be too happy about that. But I miss it every day, and it was a big part of our lives. But I'm glad to be doing what I'm doing now. So
I always like having athletes on my show because they understand about winning and losing, learning from it, and they've got thick skin because, once your athletic career is over from college, I was a hockey lacrosse player, so I totally get it, University of Denver. And talking to athletes, they understand that. But when you get out in the real world, you have to have thick skin.
right.
And normally athletes, when they can make that transition, even if they made it to the pro level or semi-pro, whatever it might be, that they make that transition into the business world, they're much more prepared than people that didn't play sports, in,
Right.
in my opinion. Maybe I'm wrong.
Nope.
I don't know.
Well, I agree. And learning to go through adversity, and not everything's easy, and having to work hard and still go to school. Um, it takes a lot, but it was rewarding, and it was a good time.
Yeah. I was a baseball player. I pitched, I caught, I played shortstop. I played everything when I was younger, but so talking to a baseball player, hand-eye coordination and all that stuff, strategy, it's just like doing business or a project. It's the same gig. So
Right.
yeah, well, listen, you had a good career in college. I miss it too. I was going to be a professional hockey player, but I didn't make it. Tore my knee up, and there it went. But I still have my fondest memories are practice, playing on teams. It's the best ever. So um, bridging in to what your life was. Let's talk about the last 3 to 4 years. March 2020, everything gets kaput. Here we're out of the tunnel. We still have some potholes and hindrances that everybody's dealing with. Talk about how your company like weathered the storm over the last couple of years, and we've come out of it, and any new things that our listeners out there on Commercial Construction Coffee Talk might find of interest, knowledge nuggets that you would like to plant.
Yeah. So we are a nationwide, large scale electrical contractor design firm. Basically anything electrical except for overhead power lines we deal with. So, with our company being as diverse as we are, we were able to stay extremely busy. During those tough times, we worked for a lot of huge tech companies in the data center world. So, which became extremely important when everybody started, working from home, remoting in, schooling from home. So we were able to keep a lot of our employees working in the same fact they were before. It's very safety minded group as well with the clients that we work for. So our safety group, we were able to stay extremely engaged, and continue to find the safest way for our employees to work, not just what was going on in the world, but just everyday activity. So it was I don't even call it a challenge. It was an opportunity for us to continue to grow as a company and find ways to continue to get better. With us being, essential employees and keeping things going, it was important to keep the employees we had busy because they were tough to find, still are. So the safer we keep them and the healthier we keep them, the better off they are for us and themselves and their families. So it was an opportunity for us to do some really cool things over the last several years.
Yeah. Even construction sites over the last couple of years, it really depended on what state you were in. Because if you were one state, like I'm in Georgia, so we really didn't even shut down. But then if you went up I-95 North, some of the states, they were very shut down. If you were on a federal highway project, you were outside and there was plenty of room, you got it done. But if you were doing let's say a bathroom renovation and you were a plumber and you had to be, close, not within that, 6 foot range or whatever the guidelines were for that particular state, that project might not have gone on time or gone as smoothly as it was. So it really depended. But so many companies that I've spoken to learned so much about their company, uh, company culture, trying to maintain it, but they were much more profitable. They were much more efficient. I don't know if some of your staff or team members were remote. Were they?
Yeah, majority of our folks either are on a job site or they were working remotely through the process, and we kind of still carried that on to this day because we were pretty successful with it.
Yeah. What's amazing is, because like I said, so many people that I've had on my, that I've talked to, whether it's been on the podcast or on the phone, they've all said that they had some of the best years over the last couple of years. If they had more PMs or supers, they would have done more projects, but that's the labor market as it is today.
Right.
But in all essence, that they learned so much more. They got rid of some of the dead weight that they didn't need, and that communication, collaboration, using technology to your advantage, not driving 2 hours to look at a little punch list item that you can look on, your screen and approve it or disapprove it. It's just, it's made everything. But learning, to teach your employees right, having faith in them, and if they've proven themselves. The biggest thing is do I bring them back to the office, or do I let them still work out of the house? Do I do a hybrid model? Those are the things that people are wrestling with. Everybody, when things reopened, hey, I want to go to a baseball game, I want to go to a concert, I want to go do this, but I don't want to go back to the office. And so that's kind of, that always comes up in that discussion. But you don't have the water cooler gossip going on and all that kind of stuff. People are just getting stuff done, and you probably get more out of them when they're working at the house. So I was already working out of my house, so my home office. So to me, it wasn't a big deal. But to a lot of my customers that had big office space, lease, or real estate, they have to think about these things, and how to, I don't want to offshore my labor, but I also want to keep the good people that they've proven themselves, and that balancing act. So it was definitely a learning experience for everybody. I mean yourself, did you see, did it affect you at all, or from your own aspect?
Yeah, I mean, our best work isn't done in office. It's done, out in the dirt, getting our boots dirty, getting our people out. We've been able to, put people in places that they wanted to be, from their, work-life balance standpoint, being able to live in certain locations that still do their job. But, in our world, being out on the production floor, out on the job site, that's extremely important for what we try to accomplish from a safety standpoint. And I agree. I think we've gotten better over the last 4 years because we have more people involved in the middle of job site, not running to the office for a couple hours, jumping back and forth, that they can actually go out and spend some quality time with the folks out there doing the work, which is our most valuable resources. So as bad as it was, we have had some good things that came out of it.
Yeah. What new safety items that people out there on our show that are coming down the pike that are new or improved efficiencies that you think that that you see as we go through the second half of 2024 and Q3 and Q4?
I don't think it's a ton related to necessarily new products. It's kind of the way we're approaching things. We really worked hard over the last few years, finding ways to eliminate knives out of our work. So for wire stripping, things like that, that was one of our biggest incident items in the past. And, we implemented a no knife policy at the end of 2021, and we cut our knife incidents to zero, and it was tough because that's, a common tool for a lot of folks in construction, especially electricians, how they used to strip wire and things. But what we did was worked with the field, put a task force together that was ran, not by safety, not by corporate, but the individuals out doing the work. And, we just found better, more efficient tools for them to use. And once we put those in their hands and they realized that they don't need to default to that, it made us better. Again, we not only are not getting anybody hurt or cut, but we're more efficient with what we've done. And when I say that to a lot of companies, I get a lot of eye rolls that, oh my God, there's no way you did that, but it did, it worked. So that's a big thing. The next step is continuing to find ways to eliminate ladders, utilizing lifts and designing work to be at the ground level. And it's not just the ascending and descending the ladders that are causing incidents. It's, having individuals, have to lift them and carry them and move them. And, being able to design work, plan work, bid work with, lifts into consideration is something that's really helped us as well, eliminate a lot of incidents. So a lot of things that we're doing is trying to focus on that front end of that hierarchy of control and get rid of the hazards up front and not relying on the PPE and stuff on the back end. And we've had some really good success over the last several years and continue to find ways to, work on that path to zero.
I have to. I'm going to come clean. I have cut my hand with a knife. I think I did it cutting some chicken or whatever. But you never know. You just think you're doing it right, and boom, there you go, and you
Yep.
get a couple of stitches, and then the tetanus shot, and uh, yeah. Actually, I did my retail training when I got out of school at Levitt's Furniture, and I think that was the last time I got stitches. But I was I was using a box cutter and was opening up some, I don't know, I unloaded a truckload of Chase Lounge, Chaz, whatever you want to have, whichever way you want to pronounce it, but sliced my finger good, and I had to get about, oh, I don't know, 6 or 7 stitches, and it was deep, and tetanus shot, and but. They were like, "How'd you do that?" I was like, "I don't know. I was opening hundreds of those things, and then it just caught it the right way, and it slipped, and boom, and that stuff's going to happen. But and that was a minor one. So, but safety is just it's a huge concern, and I don't want to see anybody get hurt. On the my thing is hydration. During the summer, because as an athlete, as you know, when you get dehydrated, you make mistakes. You don't make that flip to to your partner on a double play or whatever it might be. So the more you stay hydrated, the better you're off. You're going to sleep better. You're going to feel better, and um, with just with heat in general, it's just people don't realize how it can affect you, and staying liquefied and so forth. Um, with with your safety record, do you for some of your clients, do you give them like a medallion for hey, we had no accidents on this, or do you do that kind of stuff as well?
Yeah, a lot of ours is individual driven versus project. So, we work a lot with our employees on, do they have their training up to date? There's a lot of engagement things that we do. It's not incident driven, and a lot of it's on their own. So their success is driven by what they do and what they accomplish. And I agree on the heat side of things. It's a big topic around the industry. But OSHA is pushing it really hard. But we have a really good plan. We train a lot up front. Our projects, we have a huge logistics and field support team. So constantly supplying projects with pallets of bottled water, and then we have coolers and stuff spread out throughout the. Sorry, I just lost my headphones out of there. We have coolers throughout the project, but the biggest thing is planning up front, making sure you have enough cooling stations, and again, designing work around this, so we don't want to put someone in a situation where they have to deal with the heat. So can we rotate tasks? Can we do things at different times of the day? But like you mentioned, the being an athlete is no different than being a construction worker. It's planning yourself the day before, prepping yourself to be able to go and perform at a high level, and that happens most of the time off the project. Preparing yourself to work, so when you do get into that situation, you can stay hydrated throughout the day, electrolytes, different things like that we provide. But it's really just educating our people on how to do things the right way before they step foot on the job.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Um, I just got a press release the other day. There was, I think it was a helmet manufacturer that sent me a thing on a new cooling system that they can keep, and obviously you got the G collar going on, and all these guys that are out in the athletes in the field, they're putting them on. Do you see any of that transition of some of the stuff that the athletics side of things coming to your side where you can implement it?
Yeah, we've trialed a few of the fans that go in the hard hats, and in certain situations, they add value. We are a large company with close to 4,000 employees, so it's again trying to find something universal across the board. And innovation is a huge part of what we do, so we're not afraid to try new things if it works. So we trial a lot of those, a lot of the cooling vests and things like that. So you're really gauging the feedback from the field on, hey, is this something valuable? It's going to provide you value. Is it something that would, we could spread out universal across the organization? So it's something that we continue to look at every day when these new innovations come aboard.
From your aspect, since a lot of your team members are out in the field and so forth, as we're finishing up Q2 here at the end of the month, in a couple of weeks we'll be at June 30th, and it's halfway through the year, and then we're going to go into the second half. I always do a 6-month assessment and put the data points and see what I've done and so forth. As we finish up, obviously it's an election year, who knows what's going to happen, but are you bullish or bearish as we go into the second half of the year from what you've seen and what you hear from your team members out there on the out in the field?
Yeah, I mean, we're extremely busy, nationwide. We got a lot of good work coming up. I think one of the things that helps us be successful is we're consistent across our organization. So it don't matter if we're doing a high rise or a data center, we stay consistent with what we do from a safety standpoint. So, I see a lot of, just engagement and excitement from our folks because they see the amount of work that's coming down the road. And our biggest thing is to make them realize that they're part of a team. They're not just a number, and retention's huge for us. And we want to make sure that they feel like they're working for one of the safest, profitable companies in the country. And I think we put policies and procedures and programs in place to make that happen.
Yeah, absolutely. Getting back to the knife thing, were your guys, wearing those gloves? I get those press releases all the time that oh, the knife. You guys wear all that stuff, right?
Yeah, we're 100% glove. We're at cut level 6 is what we wear every day, but we were still seeing back of hand cuts and things like that, and it wasn't easy. I mean, it wasn't easy. We had some folks that really didn't want to go that route, and we made everybody sign a pledge. And out of 3,000 plus employees at the time, we had one that wasn't going to do it, and he's a good guy. He just no longer works for us. He made an adult decision and went and worked somewhere else. But we've been really successful with the tools that we put in our folks' hands to help keep them safe and efficient.
Hey, you got to go along the safety. There's always going to be one rebel, and so it's the reality of it. But I was just curious because I just got a hand thing this morning as you brought that up, and I was looking, I was like, oh, I don't know if I would cut that or not. I'm the kind of guy that doesn't buy anything when it comes out new. I'd rather, if it's a new phone or a new car, let it go for a year and a half, let them get the kinks out of it, and then I'll kind of look at it. I don't want to be a guinea pig, but you being on the safety forefront, I'm sure there's all sorts of stuff in your career that you've seen. You're like, oh man, that was a good idea, or that was. I'm glad we tried it out, but it didn't work, and we're not going that way. So it's trial and error, the things that you try to implement, to keep your, the safety going in a positive direction. But I'm sure there's been some trial and error, just like everything else. Any construction project's always going to have some, just little, bumps and so forth that you're going to have to overcome. If anybody's out there, commercial construction coffee and talk land, and they were thinking about improving their safety program or implementing new safety protocols, whether it's on the site or even in their office or so forth, how would someone reach out to you to bump some questions off to you?
Yeah, we're very active on all of our social media platforms, LinkedIn, things like that. And again, that's one thing about safety. It's not proprietary. If we can discuss something, among peers and it makes us better, and it saves one person from getting hurt, it's extremely valuable. So, I mean, you can email me at, rocky.rowlett@faithtechinc.com. Ask any questions there. Can be found on LinkedIn as well. But, we work in a lot of circles, both, big nationwide and small in certain markets. And, we're really good at what we do, but there's always ways to improve. So if there's anything that anybody wants to have a discussion about, we're all ears if it's going to help keep somebody safe.
I look at the whole construction. We're just a big family, and you can't really keep too much secret. Everybody's gonna, you're out there on the site and so forth. So if you can help someone out, and then you can help them, it's a two-way street. And I always offer that to people, to say, hey, look, if you want to bump something off of you, this is the best way to reach this individual. And just like asking someone for your competitive baseball coach across the county, hey, could I get the tape of that team we're going to play, and so I could see, what kind of pitches I'm going to pitch their hitter. It's all prep,
That's right.
You just said it perfectly. As an athlete, you got to look at tape. You're going to play as you practice on game day, and if you can get your hand on some tape and to see, how that umpire is going to call a strike or a pitch or whatever, it's just another advantage to you. And if you can get it free, that's awesome too. So,
Yeah,
um,
the more we can plan up front makes it a lot easier when we get boots on the ground.
yeah. All right. Um, as we finish up here, if there was one positive thought or phrase that you would like to leave with our audience as we finish up Q2 and go into the second half of the year, what's on your mind?
I mean, I think it's just our people. Listening to them, understanding what they're dealing with. Again, they're our number one resource. We can't build these buildings, wire these buildings without them. So, the culture of care aspect of our organization and really listening to the individuals and, helping create that work-life balance. So, they don't think they're just a number; they're part of, a a huge organization. I think that's the biggest thing because we spend a lot of time and effort, outfitting these individuals and training them, and we don't want them to go work somewhere else. We want them to stay
Yeah.
with us for their career. We don't hire for jobs; we hire for careers. So I think listening to your people, taking care of them. Again, we all work for profit organizations, so money is a big part of it, but taking care of those individuals is a huge component of what we do that's created the success that we have.
Yeah, I'll tell you a story. When I was 16, my older grandsons I'm from Philly originally. So when you got your driver's license in Philly, if you were a grandson, you had to work in the scrap yard. So I got put on this project outside of Philly in I-95. We were demoing these big buildings, and we had to knock off all the asbestos off the pipes before they knocked the building down. So I was the hose guy. I was doing all that stuff, and we're in the, it's really hot in the summer. I got the Tyvek suit on, whatever. So the asbestos crew came in, and I'm like, aren't you gonna wear your mask? And the guy's like, oh no, I don't need that mask. And I thought his lung came out. And I put my mask on. I have my goggles. I'm like, I'm gonna sweat. I'm not going. I'm not. I don't. This was 19. Oh, I don't know, 1976, 77. But even when I was in the scrapyard, I had to get out, and OSHA at the end of the day, I had to take a shower to get the lead off me. So I understand, and so much has changed in over that 30 or 40 years with safety, just in general. It's been an amazing thing. But they're still taking showers there every day, getting, at the in the scrapyard. So I totally get it. And but safety is so important. So as we finish up, a couple of things real quick. Number one, I always say this out there for everybody that's a repeat visitor here watching these videos. Number one is safety. So if you're on the construction site, we want you to be safe. We want you to get home, have dinner with your wife or your husband, your kids, your pets, relax, get some good REM sleep that night, and go be able to do it the next day. Rocky said it best. I always tell him, look, you're going to drink water. You got to stay hydrated. Even during the winter when you don't think it's hot, you can get hydrated at any point. Liquefy yourself, put the electrolytes in your bottle, and make sure that you stay liquefied. You'll feel better, you'll sleep better, and you'll be amazed at what, how, your body's your most important thing. Without your body and your health, it's very tough to survive. So being liquefied and that's the athlete in me just telling you, stay liquefied, no cramps, none of that stuff. Last but not least, hit the like button so we can get the safety message and the culture of safety out there that's Rocky's talking about, so you can implement it if you don't have that kind of protocol in your own firms out there. And people can find this episode out there on the web. And once again, the reason, how Rocky got on it, their publicist sent me a PR piece, and I look at everything. So don't judge a book by its cover. Send it to me. Let us look at it. If we post it, we send you the link. You can share it. It's a win-win. Your SEO will be better. That's search engine optimization. That's how Google finds you. That's how a lot of people find us. But look, I look at everything, and it's a win-win. So it could be a new product. It could be an anniversary for your company. It could be a charity golf tournament you're doing. What have you? We look at everything, and let us judge the book by covers. And listen, it's very tough to get in the magazine, but we post every day, and we have all umpteen million different types of platforms that we put news and content out there. That's what we are. We're content creators these days. Since we made the switch from print to digital. send it to us. And you never know what you're going to find there on the web. You have to decide if you like what you see, but we put all sorts of whatever, anything in safety our day, we put it up there because I know how important it is. Um, every day I run about 5 or 6 miles. I'm doing this videography for the year, and I'm going to give you my little positive thought. And it goes like this: to move forward, you got to get going. So start now. Don't do it tomorrow. Don't do it last month. Don't do it next month. Do it today. It doesn't matter. Business, life, personal. Do something. And if you do it every day, every week, every month for the next, basically 6 months, at the end of the year, you will see a difference in yourself. You'll see better production out of yourself. Your people are going to see a difference in you. And it could be anything. So just remember, I'm going to repeat that. To move forward, you got to get going. Start now. You got nothing to lose except, improving yourself. So Rocky, pleasure meeting a fellow baseballer, and now there on the safety front. I really appreciate you taking, because I know you're in a company, on the road and at a company meeting and stuff. We really appreciate you squeezing us in. Any final thoughts before we go?
No, I appreciate the time, and glad to talk to you. And again, just if anybody needs anything or wants to just have a discussion, please feel free to reach out. We're all in here together, and we need as many people out working and staying healthy as possible. So appreciate your time.
Absolutely. And one last thing, if anybody wants to reach me, you can get me at davidc@ccr-mag. Email me. I answer all my emails, and we'll come back to you, and we'll do whatever that we can for you. So with that said, Rocky, say goodbye from Nashville.
Goodbye from Nashville. We're going back to training week. And again, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. I'm going to sign off here from Sugar Hill, just below the Buford Dam, which is about 30 miles north of downtown ATL. And everybody, have a great rest of the week. Remember, stay cool out there, because the heat's coming every day. The more humidity it's getting thicker and thicker. And be positive. And it's going to be TGIF before you know it. So with that said, we will see you next time on another episode of Commercial Construction Coffee Talk. And Rocky, I look forward to meeting you in person someday. All right. And I'll bring my glove up. We'll throw,
Absolutely.
We'll see some baseball. Well, I want to see how good you are, I can
Absolutely.
throw. All right. All right, everybody. We'll see you next time. Ciao.